For the past 2 years, we don't just get one Galaxy Note, but two. In 2019, you got a chance to pick size, and then this year, well, I'm still trying to understand the purpose for the Galaxy Note 20. You really don't need to do much research to know that it's not better than the Note 10 Plus. In some ways, it's actually a step back, and I'm sure you can find better deals and a better price for last year's model. I'd even say that the only real competition left is trying to determine if going Ultra is really that much better than the choice we had before of just going Plus. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, sponsored by Subcase. You know what they say, be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. We've been asking Samsung for years to differentiate its Galaxy Note lineup from the S like it did in the old days, and that's pretty much what the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is. This is a very interesting hybrid between the missed success of the S20 Ultra and some of the design DNA of the Note 10 Plus. That being said, looks can be deceiving. Once stacked together, yeah, the Note 20 Ultra is a larger phone. It's 2mm taller, just as wide, but then a hair thicker, and, well, logically around 15 grams heavier. I always thought the Note 10 Plus was always borderline large, but its weight distribution made it very easy to handle, while the Ultra does share some of those tricks, but you will still notice the added heft. You'll prefer the Ultra when it comes to materials. It sports the latest Gorilla Glass Victus vs. 6, and it also adopts a more elegant matte approach versus the fingerprint gloss of the Note 10 Plus. And then there's the difference in button arrangement where the Ultra will cater best to righties like me, while the Note 10 Plus is better for lefties like my son Andres. The topic of internals is where things get even more tense. Surely the Ultra has the latest Qualcomm chip, a slightly larger battery, and all flavors of 5G across the board, where 5G was actually optional on the Note 10 Plus, but then things start tipping against it. They both have the same amount and type of RAM, the same Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5, fast reverse wireless charging, and IP rating, but once we talk storage, the Note 10 Plus wins as it starts at 256 gigabytes of the same kind of expandable storage as the Ultra, which makes no logical sense on the latter for their price difference. And then there's the topic of displays. This is almost the same story. They both sport a dynamic AMOLED 2X, which we've praised for 2 years in a row as the best money can buy in absolutely every metric. The Ultra is also a hair taller, the same resolution, the same aspect ratio, with a slight hair of density in favor of the Note 10 Plus, which is kind of logical given the smaller display, while there's also a minor bump in screen-to-body ratio on the Ultra. Samsung design language? I mean, think of Lexus where we've got the same dual-firing speakers on both, though I do find the Ultra to provide some deeper, more crisp results. For its price, sort of forcing you to go Ultra whether you like it or not. Really, the question is, how much do you care about 120 Hz versus 60? Because I do. This is one of those features I highly recommend you don't try unless you're willing to make the switch, because it's going to spoil you. It makes the experience feel so buttery smooth you won't be able to go back. This is actually what enables the S Pen to jump from 42 milliseconds in latency to just 9, which then Samsung matches with some neat AI to predict where your next stroke is going to be. Thing is, I never really noticed what I would call latency on the Note 10 Plus, and since it follows the same spec of the standard Note 20, that price should be an indication that you'll be just fine. Seriously, the functionality you care about is standard on both. You can use the S Pen as your surrogate mouse, or to control the device remotely. You get the same benefits of the new Samsung Notes, and if you haven't on the 2019 model, just wait for it, it'll be available. And then you can also use the S Pen on the Microsoft Suite, with OneNote being one of my favorite applications of all time for my workflow. I'm not sure if the new air gestures will make it to the Note 10 Plus, but let's be honest, you'll try them once, you won't use them again. And you also pretty much get almost the same software experience. Save for a couple of differences here and there, it's nearly the same phone. Same Edge menus that I love for app pairs, with the Ultra sporting the latest version, at least for a bit. Same S Pen menu along with the applications that we've praised for the Note. Same Bixby options you'll have to switch off from the power button. And then the same Samsung Daily you can also switch off, as it still won't beat the Google feed. Really, the only difference you'll notice most is that the Ultra sort of feels a bit faster in the user interface because of the 120Hz, and also the fact that it'll be a more future-proof phone, as I'm sure it'll get Android updates earlier and for longer than the Note 10 Plus, as I'm not exactly sure for how long Samsung plans to cover legacy devices, as remember the company guaranteed 3 years as of the recent Unpacked. Thing is, there's no such thing as a free lunch, as we say in my country, and that could be said about endurance for both devices to a certain degree. Like in the case of the S20 Ultra, the Note 20 Ultra is good. It'll last you through the day, and so is the Note 10 Plus, probably giving you an extra couple of hours of the next day. In the case of the Note 20 Ultra, I feel it has a lot to do with 5G in addition to the extra refresh rate, which is all optional. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Really, the only comparison left is the camera, and this is where things go from bad to great. I say bad because the Note 10 Plus was one of the most balanced designs of 2019, and this camera hump of the Note 20 Ultra is seriously just ridiculous. You'll definitely need a case to keep these devices protected regardless of which one you pick, and for that, channel sponsor Subcase has you covered. Those of you looking for the full rugged experience, there's the award-winning UB Pro, made of a high-quality hard polycarbonate and shock-absorbing TPU, and you'll also get the texture and grip you need along with 20-foot drop resistance. I doubt you'll find the better quality solution that includes a kickstand and a belt holster for $20 on Amazon. And then if you're looking for some of that grip in a slimmer body, try the UB Exo, offering an exoskeleton back frame matched with a shock-absorbing TPU bumper and a scratch-resistant PC back for enhanced grip on surfaces. Simply search for Note 20 case by Subcase or Note 10 case by Subcase on Amazon. You'll find all the solutions right there, and we'll be linking to some of these in the description. Now, as for photography, this is where you simply can't beat physics. Even if the Note 10 Plus had a decent spec sheet, along with some variable aperture that I wish the Note 20 Ultra had, the latter is just a beast. There's seriously no room for comparison in numbers, and since Samsung finally figured out how to fix the focusing issues, you can trust that this phone can now deliver. When it comes to photos, you know it was coming. The Note 20 Ultra is the better buy. Thing is, if you were to stick to the ultra-wide or the standard sensor during the day, both cameras perform about the same. The problem is once you zoom further than 2x on the Note 10 Plus, which is just shockingly great on the Ultra. Like seriously, 5 or 10x zoom on the Ultra almost looks like a standard photo, though my suggestion is don't go any further. Now, some of you might not like the blend of the large sensor and the bright aperture of the Ultra, as close-ups can leave subjects out. But trust me, I suggest you get used to trying to frame your shot a bit differently, because the results are just amazing natural bokeh, which even the Note 10 Plus would struggle to achieve with live focus. It's seriously so good you won't even need it for distant subjects, while on the Note 10 Plus it will be a requirement, and then remember, it won't handle edges as well. Really, the only time where you won't notice much of a difference is on selfies, as the hardware is pretty much identical. Then when we talk about night photography, neither of these devices is my favorite given the over-processing in some cases, but yeah, you have to admit the Ultra handles grain far better thanks to the added perks of the larger sensor. And then the same case for video, where neither is really my first pick, but the Ultra is my close second. And that's mainly because of the rolling shutter you'll notice as you walk, or the warping as the light gets dimmer. Still, both are capable of 4K at 60 from all cameras, and you can switch between them without stopping the video. Neither of these devices is a bad pick when it comes to vlogging, but I'd stick to the Ultra mainly because of its pro video perks. To conclude, I think this is one of those very interesting and complicated comparisons because I still feel that the Galaxy Note 10 Plus will continue to be one of my favorite notes of all time. It's just so sleek and thin, so well balanced, so well designed, and you can't blame me for loving the idea of going Star Wars Limited Edition. Thing is, let's be honest, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is so good, it was the only way for me to be willing to switch from the Note 10 Plus. I even wish there was a Note 20 Plus that would have followed on this same design, but with 120Hz and probably some improvements in the camera plus 5G. And yet, if I had to provide a value for just how good the camera is on the Note 20 Ultra, and this reason alone is why I feel going Ultra is not a bad idea. I could even say the price could be the tiebreaker, but we also saw some major discounts on the Note 20 Ultra, which also means that the Note 10 Plus might also have some better options. Bottom line, if it were my money, I'm pretty much sold on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's got everything I need, everything I want, and then some. Whereas, if you don't really care about 120Hz or really don't need that great of a camera, then the Galaxy Note 10 Plus should be your device. It still continues to be one of the best contenders even for 2020. Let us know which device you chose in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow me on my personal handles to see me replace my Note with my second favorite Note. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.